right, should be up and running here. Market's just closed, and a very bearish day following yesterday's very bearish day, but we'll get into all of that. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for April 22nd, 2022. Now, we noted how the Qs had kind of been the first to turn bearish, right, the last couple days. And the SPY, we were waiting to see, would we get back below this base, okay? And the manner in which it did it was very bearish, actually broke higher and then came right back in. Okay, the interesting thing about this reversal that we got is that we'd kind of seen it before, right? Where we get this fake higher, right? And then the next big move lower, okay? Where it tries to do a sell setup and then fails on the sell setup and then right back down. We saw it here, right? And then it came back in here as well. And then we got it again here, right? Except that it kind of did it twice. Did this sell setup, failed, and I said on this day, watch for the reversal. We had one more move up, and then look at that sell-off, right? If you've been trading for the last couple of days, I mean, this has been the focus. I know we're into earnings season. Earnings season is picking up. I would say today is probably the first day that really felt like a day in the middle of earnings season, okay? But also now the market is making a big move. So lots going on, lots to trade, and lots to kind of get up to speed on here, okay? Now, the move has been, a big move has been made already, right? And so something that we have to be aware of going into Monday, right, is that we are pretty extended down here on the hourly. That's two big red bars in a row. All right, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a small gap up on Monday, or we move up a little bit Monday morning, but we're still going to be bearish, so we'd be expecting that move eventually to get sold. All right, so keep that in mind. If we do gap down on Monday, especially a decent sized gap down to like 420 or so, then I would expect us to get bought at the open, and then maybe into the afternoon we get sold. Okay, so while we are bearish on the Qs and SPY, okay, long term, because we have the alignment now, weekly, daily, hourly, all look lower. All right, it's just the monthly, right, which is going to be the slowest to get up to speed for this whatever change of pace. So this is now transitioning potentially into a downtrend, right? But we already see it on the weekly, we already see it on the daily and the hourly, so on and so forth. Those are all in downtrends. Eventually we'll drag the monthly with it. Okay, so bearish going into Monday, but we have to acknowledge how extended we are, what a move that has already been made. Therefore, you know, any kind of gap down probably going to get bought first. It's going to be a bit novice here on the hourly, and then with the extension as well, right? Wouldn't be surprised if we open flat or small up on Monday and then look to be bearish again in the afternoon, right? So some lower high on the hourly is kind of what I'm looking at. That's kind of the next opportunity for shorts. All right, so let's get into the plays from today. There should be more on here, really. Those are the only two things I played, the GPS and the HCA. The ISRG, good gap down, and this is kind of why I say it kind of feels like earnings season now, is that there was a lot to do at the open and hard to catch them all. Okay, so ISRG opening, you can either do that as a 1-bar high-low or a 1-2-3. That's a pretty textbook 1-2-3 lower, and really nice. Of course, a lot of the shorts are going to work all day, right, with the market. One of the few that I played, and I did play it, is the GPS. GPS, I played it this morning just as a 1-minute sell setup. I'll show you where it is. This did open late. This wasn't open yet, all right, but got the bounce, and I played it right here as a sell setup, all right, so right here. So after it moved lower and then got the bounce underneath that bar, I did get tagged in, and that failed pretty quickly there. Okay, so just basically off of that little retracement there, looking for, new lows. Here's the gap. Here's why I was so aggressive with this play, because any 1 minute sell setup, 1 minute high low has to be a pretty good gap. Here was the gap on the GPS. A little bit too big, I would say, a little bit oversized from what it needed to be, but this didn't end up working, okay, on the GPS. Okay, next play, HCA. All right, now, interestingly, I missed the first entry on this, which if you look at the HCA, would have been the same entry that I played on the GPS. The initial drop, you get the bounce a little bit, and then you play underneath a previous bar's low. Of course, I was looking at the GPS trying to play that, so I totally missed, right, this entry. But I did get another one here. So again, lower and then inside of this retracement. Even in here, still, I think I sized it for a $5 stop. I think it was a little bit shy of that. So really big stop on this HCA, but worked out okay. So this was the HCA. Did hold a runner on this. I didn't make it quite to end of day. Once this bar got kind of big, I decided that was the end. And the first couple pieces came out earlier. So so the HCA was pretty nice. This, working well with the market. All the other related, like THC, they were all also down quite a bit and staying weak and closing at the lows, CYAH. But I did notice that HCA seemed to be the one that was getting the most attention. And just look at the size of that bar. So good gap, cleared support, and then with the market, able to get through the rest of the support. So that was nice on the HCA, okay? And the market definitely helped with that. But, it wasn't easy, especially with the spread and the pretty big stop on the HCA. But was good, okay? And there was a lot more. There was a lot that I missed, which was why I'm saying, this really does feel like earnings season. But I also think earnings season combined with a market that's really moving, right, can't help but feel like, I didn't take full advantage of today. But that's just the way it is sometimes. I wasn't sure, yesterday was such a wide range bar. I was thinking that today actually was going to be a narrow range day. After that move, that was such a bearish reversal to go, especially on the SPY, from a gap up to get sold like that was really, really bearish. And that kind of today's follow through only reinforces that yesterday's move was so bearish, really unexpected perhaps, that even more continuation for the SPY today. Okay. So in summary, going into Monday, right, we are going to be bearish overall in the market, but timing wise, expecting to see a little bit of a bounce, whether it's a small gap down and we get a bounce, or we open flat and get a bounce. I think if we gap up like a decent amount, then we'll probably just get sold. That's overall just a reflection of the bearish bias. Okay, because going into yesterday, right, we were saying, SPY's a little bit more neutral still, but Qs are bearish. And then once the SPY gapped up as much as it did and failed, then okay, now clearly we're bearish. We're definitely below the area we're looking at, right? And then now we have alignment. And so you can see, the last week or so, we've kind of been battling the alignments. There's been a lot of time frame conflict. And then once we got the alignment, man, we really got sold. It's a little bit like the beginning of the year. The beginning of the year, we did have alignment, right? And we got really fluid follow through. And so we're seeing that. This move being even, I think, a little bit more dramatic than that one. All right. So hopefully you had a nice day here to finish out the week. We'll see what we get on Monday. It might be a little bit quieter on Monday, but who knows? I thought even today was a little bit of a surprise, a good surprise. But yeah, I'm really, really bearish on the Qs and SPY move here. Just got to be aware of kind of the extension and the timing. Okay? All right, guys. We'll be back at it on Monday. Have a great weekend. All right, and I'll talk to you on Monday.